super quickly about me and MSPbots, so you know where we come from. I was originally from China, been here for 21 years. I'm here in Chicago downtown, living here in Chicago for 21 years. Started multiple businesses. One of the business, of course, related to this one is I started learned the MSP, right, managed service provider, 2008 from Robin. I've been Robin, member as MSP for 14 years. But I
Okay.
was doing, I grown since 2009 to 2016. I grown my MSP from 0 to 1.7 million. We're making money. We're growing 30, 50% year by year. It's pretty awesome, but I really, really got burned out, right? I was like,
Uh-huh.
by the 2015, 14, 15, I was so frustrated and burned out. I hired a CEO. I said, I'm done, right? I left
Hmm.
by the 2016. Basically, I said, hey, if you maintain the 10, 15% net profit, I'll leave you alone. Do whatever you got to do. Right. So went
Hmm.
through all, and also, I mean, the Taylor Business Group, Robin, True Method group of members. So not only I have all those challenges, right?
Right.
Whack-a-mole every day, one phone call ruin your whole day. You have an employee, senior engineer show up, says, Daniel, we need to talk. Here's my 2 weeks notice. It ruins your
Hmm.
whole day, right? If
Yep.
you come to something, sometimes the star line, you were talking with the client and your employee work in says, it's too frustrated here. I'm leaving. I'm like, oh my God, kill me. Right. So I took a 3 year retirement, kind of like looking for what I'm gonna do next. I did some angel investing. One company I invested, they do this called robotic process automation.
Okay.
I was, whoa, they do it for enterprise, right? I'm like, whoa, that's the one can solve a lot of the problem I had before. I wish I had that one. So I tried to work with them together, but they only focus on enterprise. I say, okay, I'll do it for the small businesses. Right. So I started developing MS bots based on my painful 7 years experience. Initially, it was exciting. Later, it just like a torture every day. So ends up, combined with the learn what I learned from the software and my experience in the MSP. And I did some, marketing research with my friends to say if we have something like this, what do you guys think? Right. So 3 years later, we finally, after the beta, 6 months ago, we started selling it as a premium product, right? Everybody can sign up for free. Of course, there's a paid version. Currently, we have about 67 full-time employees,
Hmm.
more than 550 signed up. About 50 of them we start selling about 5 months ago. So right now we have 50 MSPs all over the world, right? We have the New Zealand, Australia, UK, US, Canada, of course, right? And every week we get 2, 3, new MSPs signing up. So we really started building this sales engine. That's Robin's trade show is actually our very first trade show.
Oh wow.
So we get a really, really, really good feedback. So for me, I don't have an investor. We probably put already $2 million into this. So this is my passion job, not something like a money grab. Otherwise,
Right.
I'm already retired. I don't need to, work 100 hours a week right now. But I'm having so much fun, especially when people like doing the demo. They, whoa, this is so cool, right? Stuff like
Right.
that. That's what
Okay.
I'm really chasing for. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna skip lots of this, right? I see, you're in the CEO position. I started with me, hire one person, two, six, seven, then dial back to the 4, 5, right? Those are what the how many people you guys have?
32.
Okay, so you're much better. You already passed all those painful stage, right? I guess the early stage, Brian, you went through that. I was
Yes.
passionate. I said, "Oh, I love technology. I love how people. I love making money, right? Grow business, right?" But end of the day, I'm buried every day, right? Oh, this
Mhm.
employee got issue. That client got an issue. You double the number of the revenue clients. You need to double the number of the employee. You just quadruple, all the problems.
Hmm.
They cross reference each
Yeah, yeah,
other.
yeah.
it's not a linear. It's almost like a self-restraining. Something's holding you so bad, right? Every day try to
Hmm.
knock you down, stop, right? Growing. I'm like, oh my God, right? It's like, and the technology is changing. Oh, you finally get everybody trained with the Exchange server. Here's Office 65, right? Oh, you think the Microsoft gonna be dead? Let's all move to the Google apps because Microsoft is doing awful job. Then suddenly
Hmm.
they're going, oh, let's move them back. It's like, oh my God, right?
Pulling your hair out every day. That's right.
Yeah, can I take a break? Right? Oh, someday you're so happy, you're coming, everything's fine. One phone call. Okay, this client got crypto. That client server crashed, right? Oh, there's 105 lawyer office, their phone system is down. And we're the one responsible. I was like, oh.
Hmm.
So this is what the reasons, I said, okay, working so hard, right? Not justifying all those original goals I thought I'm gonna get where I left, and also echo to say what MSPots is trying to do is to eliminate or at least reduce the stress, remove some of those pain points, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, quickly there are a couple of areas. You guys already have a Power BI, so I'm gonna skip this. Right, start with the
Hmm.
small business, no BI. Now you have BI, but the problem with the BI is uh, Brigade give you actionable data, but who's taking the action, right? Even you're willing to pay people, say go watch it. How many actually really look at it every day, every hour, and take action and take correct actions,
Hmm.
right? It's a tons of work need to do. We have so many people. I talked with many people. They cancel the bright gauge not because it's not good. Is it nobody's using it? Or they cancel they pay bright gauge $500 when we did about 46 right now 44 46 bright gauge migration project.
Hmm.
Some of the client we say, hey, how many dashboard do you want to migrate? One. I'm like, on behalf of our data analyst team, thank you,
Yeah.
because it made their life much easier. But meantime, you pay $500 a month
And
for
use
what?
one dashboard. Yeah.
What? It's like, yeah, because that's the one on the TV. We kind of using it. The rest of nobody using it. Nobody maintain it. Nobody maintain it. The data is wrong. Data is wrong. Then nobody using it, right? It ends up, yeah, kind of like, should we cancel it? But we are using it. But are we really using it?
Right.
Right? It's just like a over. So this is one. I'll show you why. Early Brian mentioned, right? Why we are much better BI, but more importantly, we have the bots, to do the micro training one, right?
Okay.
So next one, this two actually a side project we did. I would assume with your guys' situation, you got a centralized dispatcher,
That's we
right?
do. Yes.
Yeah. So one dispatcher or
That's right.
two?
Only one
One.
right now.
Yeah, so this one, I'll show you how we do it. But typically, right, the ConnectWise training says, oh, you make sure you're Mr. Daniel, dispatcher, right? You pinned the dispatch green, right? You make sure everybody have enough job to do and have the sequence. Reality, when it's happened, the dispatch says, Daniel, you have 8 hours tomorrow. Here's 5 tickets for you. Then you perfectly finished 5 tickets according to that dispatcher design. Less than 1%.
Right.
Yet we're doing it every day, right? So we have a solution there, basically say using the algorithm to do the calculation. The feedback we get so far, they say we save about 80% of the dispatcher's time and hundreds times faster, more accurate dispatcher result, right? So it's not 100% more fast, it's 100 times. I'll let you judge when
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do the.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one is we have this is kind of like initially we designed is to get the accurate utilization because most company use 8 hours as a
Hmm.
calculation denominator to do the which is inaccurate. Then COVID hit, we said, oh, everybody work from home. So we started doing say, hey, can we get something like a visibility, right? So those are the attendant. Then we tied the visibility with the utilization. There's some bots chasing. We say, this app have a huge help to boost the utilization and give people a visibility, right? So this is the overall the agenda, right? And of course,
Mm-hmm.
this meeting is mainly for you, right? Whatever, if I'm talking something, is Daniel, this is okay. We're okay. Move on. Next one. Or, it's like, oh, tell me more about it. Interrupt me anytime you want.
Okay,
Cool.
very good. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Lots of other stuff I'm gonna skip, but I think the main fundamental, right? Like you're the baggage expert, so I think the baggage is kind of like doing this is called a data-driven decision making, right?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like all the data it's pulling from everywhere, then come end with the red, yellow, green on top of it, right? So say that's a decision. You're a dispatcher, you're doing awesome job. Our resolution time, our response time, resolution time should be awesome, right? You're awesome the technician. How do we know your utilization is high? You don't have late time entry. You don't have this. All the number green. So is this called data-driven decision making? We added extras bot-driven process automation, right? So I think this is the fundamental part.
Mm-hmm.
So we use this one as a demo, right? So this is the when you log in, sign up. I know we had some questions. So we use synchronize with your Active Directory, get the user list, right? So
Okay.
we get the user list and we match with them with their ConnectWise username. So we say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so these are the people. Actually, this is what we get the user information and use 2FA to log in. That's all. We don't put anything else, right? Because you can verify in the Microsoft Azure with the permission we're looking for. We're just reading the user information. So there's a lot of other, you can use the outside consultant, the client portal, which Brigade has. We made a lot of enhancement there. Let's start with the integration. This is very similar, or it's the same for the data source, right? As you can
Mm-hmm.
see, have all this kind of stuff. The one you mentioned, we pretty much all have it, and we're developing about one or two new integrations every week, right? So average about a week, one per week. So it depends on how many people requesting. If it's a RESTful API, we can typically deliver it in 3 days. So this is nothing special. It's just like, you authorize us for the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then here's the start. We're getting better. I'm gonna use the Brigade because of course, one of the topic is a comparison between the Brigade and MSPbots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about 20-30% of the people they switch the bright gauge is because this, right? You use bright gauge. I think bright gauge standard is give the ConnectWise user 24 datasets, right? About
Yeah.
24. Yeah, and sometimes you can ask them create a couple of them, right? Say some people have more because they are on premise, so they use SQL, create a
Right.
couple of extra set, right? Stuff like that. But we we only have 172, right? Why I say only? I'm not sure. Are you familiar with the ConnectWise RESTful API? Do you ever go there?
No, not really.
Uh,
I mean,
okay,
I understand it, but I'm not yet.
okay, yeah. So the reason I mentioned the only 172 because if you go to the ConnectWise RESTful API JSON file, they have more than 500 there, right?
Oh wow.
So yeah, so give example, the couple, one of the client signed up because of this, right? It's like, yeah, he signed up the story is he signed up the Brigade 1 month trial. The owner went to a meeting. I never found out which meeting. Then somebody said, "Oh, we just signed the Brigade." Somebody said, "Oh, there's this company called MSPbots. They're much better." Right, the
Mm.
owner just messaged the service manager, go check this out company, this company called MSPbots. Some guy says they're better than Bright Gauge. So got coming, did the demo, it's awesome. Is hey Daniel, I'm gonna test you guys, right? Because I need a report just say last month all the invoice, the products, right? Which one, what's the percentage of the pie chart? I've been submit that ticket to Bright Gauge 2 weeks ago. I got nothing. Can you guys try? As a forward email, I send it to my dev team. 20 minutes later, we created that one. He look at it. It's like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, right? Not because, well, of course, our data analysts, they're awesome, but mainly because we already have this data set, right? Already there, right? So this is the one, example says, you can, you know it, right? Without data set, there's nothing you can do about it,
Right.
right? And even the one you have the data set here, right? We can easily say, okay, which one is billable, not billable. You can do some super simple, data analyzing. If you know familiar with the pivot table, right? So you can just go super easily, create some of this kind of simple data analysis, right? Actually, I don't even know what I'm doing, but hey, I create a bunch of a bar chart, line chart without saving anything, because this is what we gave you the opportunity. You can just verify the data, right? Right here, sorting by it, right? Filter by it, right? All the filtering you can do. So quickly verify if the data we pulled from the integration is accurate or not. Because if the data is wrong, everything else doesn't matter, right? Everything's data driven. So this is kind of like a raw data we can give you there. So in summary here, right? So we have out of box for many of this. We already have a way more data set. Oh yeah, I'll give you another one. This is like a stopwatch thing. I was talking with the client. It's like, oh, this is awesome. I have trouble. I don't know if you can pull this. We use stopwatch to monitoring if the user is working or not. I'm like, what? Last 14 years, I never heard anybody using that way. Then we look at together, we say, whoa, they actually have a data set, right? So yeah, this is the March 15th. We say, okay, you know what? They have the API. It took us 20 minutes with a junior developer to pull the API into this, right? So the summary is we have a lot of data set already, but if it's a API documentation, JSON file, right, is a 20 minutes junior tech we can put in. That's also the reason why we only have 172, because if you really calculate, if we put all those 500, that's still a lot of job, right? 20 minutes multiplied by what, 300? So nobody's asking, we don't actively pull it. Not only it costs longer, right? It's a memory, RAM, CPU, network, everything to pull some data. Nobody's asking, nobody's using, right? But on the other hand, if you say, oh, I want to analyze or automate something, right? We just say, hey, can we find it like the stopwatch? Can we find an API? Yes. Awesome. Let's pull a data set. 20 minutes, get it done, published. Now you have a data set. You can start the journey, right? Create this, what we call the widgets, right? We call it widgets, and in the ConnectWise, they call, but in the BrightGauge, called it gauges, right? Right. So same thing, right? You out the box. If you go to the ConnectWise manage, right? I think we got about 400 widgets already, right? 485, and this number is keep going up, right? The difference here is we look at the stuff we're working with all those MSPs. If somebody says, this is can you guys design this one? We look at it. Yeah, we can. And this is a good idea. I think other people can also need it, right? Then we just not only do that for that company, and we publish in the library. And we have another function is literally in the development right now, is if you create something, we even kind of like create this GitLab, that kind of idea, right? GitHub, that kind of idea. You can upload your own, share it to the community. We will do a review. Then, you can share it. Initially, we say, okay, it's just like open share, right? It's a, contribution. But then we talk about maybe some monetary, right? Hey, you spend 3 hours creating this beautiful widgets. You write some like description, screenshot. You say, this is cool. I think other people are going to use it. You upload here, sell it for $10, right? $10. If I'm a business owner, I'm like, what? I can get that for $10? Oh my God, sign me up. But hey, if you can sell for, if a 10,000 company or if 1,000 company download, hey, that's 3 hours of your work. Just made you $10,000, right? It's why not? So there may be some even third party. We're working with a Paxit, C-Lever, Sierra Pacific, Sierra Connect Strat, right? The Burr McKinley. So they might even go in, do it as a business, right? To develop stuff. But the short term, right, is all we're doing it and we help the MSP doing it and you can do it by yourself, right? Like we have this 15. Oh, they released a new one. I don't know which one is a new one. There's a 16 of this
Mm-hmm.
this kind of yeah, because
Widgets.
yesterday was 15. Yeah, it's 16 of the widgets there. But we also say, what if that 16 is not enough? This is what we use our back end. So it's a Apache, project. They have this sub project called eCharts. So
Okay.
it's a total open source visualization library, right? So you get like a couple hundreds, all kinds of yeah, all kinds of this data visualization. So our goal is to say, if you have an idea, you want to visualize it, we'll be able to support it. So anything like this one, right? So if you have a use case, and we can get the data from anywhere, right? SQL, API, then you say, here's my data, here's my use case, and we have the full source code. It takes us just 3 days to develop one of this, make it number 17, right? So, but
Mm-hmm.
again, we don't just go there, make 300 all available. It's also, on demand base, right? If you say, oh, this is a pretty cool, hey, I like this calendar, here's my use case. If I can measure this by this way, it can be really useful. Our product owner look at it and say, yeah, that makes sense. We might even ask a couple of other MSP. We're doing the weekly meetings. We say, hey, what do you guys think? Everybody like, whoa, that would be awesome. And it's sent to the development, 3 days, right? We can push this open, right? So this is part of we say, okay, now is from the data set to widget and the
Mm-hmm.
dashboard. So the dashboard, I'm going to show you this way, right? So you use ConnectWise. Once you sign up, it take about 2 hours to do the data sync, right? So it's synchronize the data. Once the data is synchronized, then you're going to get all this dashboard pre-built, right out the box, right? Similar like a bright gauge, it's always
Mm-hmm.
give the pre-built stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, we say we pretty much this is a similar integration, data set, gauge, dashboard reports, right? So
Yep.
same, but we did a lot of nuance stuff, right? So for example, yeah, this is a template. You can clone this one if you want to
Mm-hmm.
modify, right? So when you clone it, it become like come to the my dashboard
Mm-hmm.
section, right? So all this cloned one, right? I open the clone one. So looks very similar. You can do the single rotating because it's not by accident because the people asking for it, we developing it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's out of the nuances, right? That Braggage doesn't have. Because a couple months ago when we first started, we're like, okay, we can do some kind of dashboard. Actually, we started bots first. Then we try to trigger the bots. Then the people say, can you use the Bright Gauge data? We reach out the Bright Gauge. Bright Gauge says, no, we don't have an API. No, we have no intention to share our data with anyone. So kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
forced to do it our own, right? Our first version, then second version, then start people asking. We say, oh, we can actually do a lot of stuff. People say, no, you cannot do this. Therefore, I cannot cancel my Bright Gauge. Okay, give us 3 weeks, right?
Right.
Then that went down. Then that guy says, no, I'm missing that feature, right? So give example some of the nuances. Like this one, we have a company, they have 167 user company, pretty decent because I remember because they're kind of like a big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 months ago, their manager, their head, said, "Oh, this is awesome," but they're a division of a 500-person company, MSP division, right? So like, we need to go through a lot of improvement, auditing, CSO, in order to do all that kind of stuff. I'll put you guys in, on the back burner right now. I'll reach out to you when I saw, we lost that client.
Mm-hmm.
Then 4 weeks ago, he come back, it's like send an email, say, Daniel, one thing, can you change this URL from ConnectWise, to go to the manage
Mm-hmm.
to Cloud Radio? I say, yes, we can, because we just released that 3 weeks ago because one cloud radio client asking. They said, okay, we're done. We're moving. I said, oh, okay. So it's like, okay, let me schedule a meeting. So I want you to show me how it's get done, right? I said, okay, come here, do this. Here's a hyperlink of the ticket number. Click
Mm-hmm.
this, then drop down this one. For example, you say where you want to switch to,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to switch to the ticket number. Yeah, here, do this, remove this, right? HTTPS. xx.cloud
Radio.
radio
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
radio whatever you guys use a cloud radio.
Mm-hmm. We
Okay,
are we are in the process of implementing cloud radio, so this would be huge.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so all you need to do is that's it, right? He
Mm-hmm.
saw this one and said it's done, right? So again, not because we're so smart, so awesome. It just some people asked, right? So before him, somebody like, yeah, they have this problem. You give the client the dashboard, they click this one, then they click this link. They say,
They
"Where's my
try to go
connect
to connect with us.
login?"
Yeah.
Right? Is like, no, 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 you don't click that. That's not for you. But
Right.
because they're a big company, they have a lot of people asking, right? They just one day like, I'm tired of. They ask a bracket, can you even just remove it, right? Nope. So then we say, so a lot of small nuances like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are willing to go in, just make the development. So I'm not going to go through those. And so we're very actively, those 30 some developers, right? Every day is making the new improvement, all that kind of stuff, right? So all those, like we developed for them, same thing for them, right? The client portal, they have about hundreds company, so when they give the client access, they need to make a copy and make copy and make copy, one per company, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did is automatically. We said this is a token. We already know the client email address. Through the email address, we can find the company. Then we filter the data with the company. Then you only have three templates, right? For you
Wow.
can have 500 companies, right? Why you? It's like, yes, right? So those are the things we're doing a lot. When we, and also people say, hey, this dashboard we cannot do. Hey, can you put more than 210 days data, right? We're like, why not?
Right.
Because Bragg been asking them for 3 years, right? Was that, yeah, we do ask you the use case, right? Why? We can put 15 years. It's just like a resource ROI calculation, right? Why
Mm-hmm.
do you need a 15 years data? Maybe we can give you a 1 year summary, like during the weekend, night, weekend, the server is not busy. We pull the 1 year data, do a summary, then remove all the detail. Nobody cares. 14 years ago, that Wednesday afternoon, 2:30, what happened with that ticket? They just want a summary data. So every single time people ask, yeah, you're right. I just need a summary. That's all I need. Then we can do that summary. It take a couple bytes,
Right.
save it in the database, discard the data, and that's become the history. You never need to do that again. It's a one-time job. Then for sure we can do it. And even the back end, we have the Python engine, Java engine. I was like a imaginary situation. You say, oh, my cousin is a PhD in the statistics of the MIT, right? He created this Python code to run my last 15 years of revenue analysis. He did it 10,000 times, use a Monte Carlo tree, R, to predict what's the next three months or 3 years our revenue going to be. We'll be like, awesome. You have the code. We can inject into our back end. Then we can give you a data set. Because at the end of the day, whatever how complicated manipulation of the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's the next 3 years rev? It's just three revenue number. That's it,
Right.
right? It's a new data set, right? So that's how we can back end. We have a way more sophisticated engine, and we can accommodate, OpenAI. You use a Google TensorFlow, right? We have all those engine built. We just need
Mm-hmm.
the use case and
Right.
more data, right, to really make sense, right? So typically, I hear that 50% people they're like, okay, I'm done, either because data set, cloud radio, visualization, right? Mesh the data. Or one company says what, you can do, when we do the data filtering, right? So we can do this grouping, right? So you can do this add group, then add condition, then you can select and all. It's like that's the
Hmm.
only reason, right? I can add this, and then all this, and then add another one, then all another one. I'm signing up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
here, there, all the stuff, right? But typically by this time, we say about 50% people says that, for whatever all this reason combined, you guys are a much better version, compared to a breakage. I'm signing up. The other 50% are like, yeah, I can see your point. It is awesome, but I'm pretty happy with the breakage. It's a lot of work to switch, right? Even though I don't have any of those immediate needs, and
Hmm.
this is typically the one push them over. Right. And also even include, actually, we have three clients. They get a full version breakage for free from the ConnectWise command program, right? They give the full version for free. They
Yeah.
eventually did the migration. Here's why. What the heck is this bot means, right? So this is what the pinpoint a lot of people. I get one company says, hey, I have 15 TVs on the around my big, bullpen, right? That's awesome. Who's watching it? Well, I'm watching it, whenever I work by, I look at it, right? It's keywords is whenever, right? And the technician, they're supposed to, right? So end of the day, here's the thing, right? You have a team lead, you, Brian, everybody. The official training is, hey, Daniel, you are the one watching this for 15 numbers, right? So I want
Hmm.
you to spend probably like 2 hours a day in total, spread it between, every 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I want you to look at it, say, oh, this number become red, something's wrong, right? So click it and go figure out, oh, this is John, this is Daniel, this is Kevin, right? Go tap on their shoulder, tell them what happened, why it's important, and what they should do. And if they all fix their stuff, then this one go back to green. And do it every single day, right? I'm willing to pay you $30 an hour, allocate 2 hours of your day, right, to do it, or 3 hours. How many people actually execute that? From my survey, less than 5% people say, yes, my service manager doing that. Whoa, you find the unicorn, right?
Right.
Number one, it's a very expensive, rarely get done. And even you find the unicorn, that's $100 a day, right?
Right.
20 some days a month. How much it costs you, right? So here we create this one. We use this one we call the bots, right?
Hmm.
To mimic how you train hire people to do it, right? So instead of say, Danny, you're hired as a team lead to watch this one, we say let's create a bot. I show you quickly. We call it this micro-training bots, right? They're multifaceted, methodologies to get it done.
Hmm.
So yeah, like for the package user, we do this. We call it the free. We do the free migration, right? Whatever all the stuff you're using, we migrate all your the dashboard the way exactly how it looked like. Move
Hmm.
to, we offer that free migration. So and anything we migrated, you can just click create bots, right? So if you look at it here, I want the bots trigger when this widget called bridge resolution
Hmm.
is more than zero, right?
Right.
Which is the definition of the red.
Right.
And I want it to repeat. Please check it every 5 minutes between the 8 to right whatever,
8 to 5.
and
Yep.
yeah, Monday through Friday, or sometimes it's maybe Saturday. Well, you don't work
Hmm.
Saturday, okay? Let's remove Saturday, right?
Right.
So this is a typical your standard training, right? So it basically, what do you want about it? What is considered as a problem, and how often I should check it, and when, which time frame I should check it, right? But if you here you can see, remember we have about 470 some of the widgets, 80,
Hmm.
and also whatever your gauge is, we can also put in. So you can select anything here, right? If it's a widget, we can mountain it, right? So anywhere of those 30 some integrations, right? 30 integrations, any widgets, what's going on? Any widgets, And remember,
Mm-hmm.
we have only 170 data set or anything in the system, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
say any of this, right? Expenses, right? So you say, what is wrong with the expense? If the company name equals this, and whatever, right? It's not
Mm-hmm.
invoiced, right? You get the point, right?
Yep.
Any data, any criteria, or if you have a machine learning, we're actually working on right now, right? When people send you an email, create a ticket, or they updated the time entry is a closed loop, we can do a sentiment analysis, right? Which is there are tons of open source or the APIs available. We have 83% confidence that this client is agitated, frustrated, angry, happy, right? You saw those stuff everywhere now, right? It's easy to do. We can say if the time entry sentiment, right, is 83%, 80% higher confident as annoyed, right? Then send the management dispatcher or the team leads up, right? Or something
Mm.
like the QuickBooks bill wasn't paid for 12 days. Server has been offline for more than 2 hours. Oh, in the ConnectWise agreement, we have a two total care server management, but in the Vim backup, they only have one server backed up.
Mm-hmm.
Likely, right? You charge people 400 and you're not doing the backup? Seriously? Right? So something, anything you can describe. Of course, some are super easy, right? Is the time entry late or not? Super simple. But something like combine the two data set is more difficult. But it can be done, right? It's just a
Hmm.
time commitment, right? So any data, any criteria, well,
Any
we have
schedule.
this advanced, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
literally any minutes, any hours, right? You can say, oh, I only wanted to blah blah hour, or even you
Mm-hmm.
say only the 6 o'clock, 13 and 20. I don't know why you do that, but it's 3 times a day, right? You want
Right.
to happen. So whatever data, whatever criteria, even including machine learning or combined multiples, three, four. Uh, hey, QuickBooks says they're unpaid, and but their QuickBooks says they're paid, and their data set, their server is managed, and the backup is not happening. Oh, by the way, this client agreement is more than 30 days because it's first 30 days, maybe it's onboarding. Therefore, the backup is not set up yet.
Yeah.
That's fine, right? So whatever you can clearly define it, we can trigger. That makes sense here?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So now, you hire this bot, right? You'll say, uh-oh, that number is red. Whatever reason, right? Whatever the background. The number is red. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like you or brand, any owner, any management, you don't go there just, oh, let me just fix it, right? You go there, reach out, hey, Daniel, John, Joe, Mary, what's going on, right?
Right.
So because you can clearly define the criteria, so here you know exactly who should be notified, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not a generic like, oh, click that one, find out who's responsible. You already know who's responsible,
Right.
right? So you can say, oh, it's a ticket updated by, or it's like a time entry created by, or you say, oh, you're the service dispatcher, you're the manager,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right?
Right.
So whoever it is, then you can use this one as something like, okay, you can use tokens, right? Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So our suggest, of course, you can use something like, hey, Daniel, dumbass, go get the job done, right? Don't do that, right? Joke aside, the point is that you can do whatever you want, right? But
Mm-hmm.
our suggested is what happened, why it's important, right? And
Right.
how you should fix it. This is our standard. We say how you compile your message to make it more meaningful,
Right.
right? I give you a couple of examples. We have generating our environment, right? Hey, you forgot to write the time entry next step in
Mm-hmm.
time entry, right? Some other stuff. You're in progress for too long. You're level one tech. You are researching this ticket for 67 minutes. Stop.
Mm-hmm. Escalate the ticket now. Right.
Escalate, right? We're chasing them. It's like, please escalate. Stop researching. You're level two
Mm-hmm.
tech. Maybe only take 5 minutes can solve it. You already wasted an hour, right? So something like this. So we were, this is what happened, right? So
Hmm.
this is undisputable fact, right? If you
Right.
don't believe me, go click it. It will go to the ConnectWise to show you, right? So this is what happened. You have a time entry is late for 7 minutes. Why I'm receiving the message and why should I care? Because always explain why, right? Because once
Right.
people understand why, they're much more likely they're gonna follow the instruction, right? Then
Right.
you have the how. We give you this example. This is the 2 minutes video, right? We show people, step by step, right? This one, we give you as example, but the easy one is there are tons of screen capture tools, free ones, paid ones. Some of them you can even put your heads here, right? The webcam with your head. So think
Hmm.
many times you do what you do is you go there, you say, oh man, Daniel made that mistake again. You walk to the Daniel's desk and say, Daniel, see that number turned red because you did something or you didn't do something, right? So give me your keyboard and mouse, let me show you. You say, if you go to the ConnectWise here, click this, then click
Hmm.
here, right? Make sure you do this. Be careful about this one, right? If this situation you do this, that situation. In this case, we don't even suggest you say if this situation you do this, if that situation you do that. Why? Because you know exactly what the situation.
Right.
Okay? Don't make technicians think. It's just like this is what exactly what happened. This is exactly what you need to do. Because every time if you say, oh, if this you do this, if that you do that, but if this happened, then you just get people confused, right?
Hmm.
So you just made it more difficult for people to learn. And it takes longer. This video is going to become longer and longer every time you say, if this, then you do that.
Right.
Because you know exactly what happened. So we suggest you just, this is what happened. This is exactly what you need to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Therefore, this is only 2
2
minutes.
minutes.
So it's not those 1 hour training. People probably would start wondering, when the happy hour or the 20 minutes along the way, right? The mind is already wandered somewhere else, right? So this is why what do we call the micro training, which be considered the Z best training you can offer, not one of Z. It's the Z best training you can give to the employees for the
Hmm.
in the job training, right? There's two key component here. Number one, this is because it's real time, right? It's very close, or a couple minutes, or in a couple hours when people made a mistake, right? Psychologists or the neurologists already researched this. Whatever you're training your kids, your pet, your employee, same thing. You don't tell your dog, hey, bad dog, last Monday you pooped in the living room, right?
Yeah.
Like confused, like what are you saying? But it's just like the closer you can give people feedback, right? The sooner you can give people feedback, people are easier to create
Yeah.
those neural links, right? Oh, they correlate the stuff. The memory is all about the neural link, right? Or
Right.
because of this, I remember that, right? So they establish that, oh, the immediately I made a time entry, 10 seconds later, bam, MS Boss says, I was wrong, and here's how, here's why. Oh, okay. That's much easier for people to correlate these two things. Number two, because it's very specific, right? So it's short, right? The smaller content, the easier to digest. Everybody have this attention span. Some people it's probably an hour, but many people probably like 5 minutes, right? So the shorter you can provide, the more precise and shorter you can provide the content, is easier for people to remember. Yeah, it's very difficult to remember 1 hour training. It should be pretty easy to remember 5 minutes training, right? So
Hmm.
so this is today's world, right? I guess you guys probably suffer the same thing. In my peer group, everybody have challenge to find the good employees, right? Hire is a big problem. So they start hiring the high school kids, right? In order to do the job. So this is what's the best for the new employee. Instead of give them 5 days ConnectWise University training, which they probably only remembered 5% by the end of the day, right? If the
We
super
do that.
smart one, yeah, remember like 20%, right? It's like,
Hmm.
wow, you really remember 20%? Oh my God, right? But sorry, Monday go start using ConnectWise, right? Then next 3 months, they're useless. They're actually not beyond the useless because they create a lot of problems for you.
Right.
But that's just the reality. But think about it, we're working, we have this engine, right? Where our goal is to get 100. Right now, we only have 30, 40 bots, but our goal is a couple hundred bots, right? You start only turn on this certain with the new employees. When the Jason made the very first late time entry, bot boom is there. And Jason is a good kid, right? Willing to learn, want to learn, right? Really passionate about entering the IT industry. Like,
Hmm.
is this 5 minutes, right? Jason understand English. Jason willing to invest 5 minutes. Oh, I remember. It's kind of like I mentioned. If anything's
Hmm.
standing, you can ask, right? Then the good part, the boss is 24/7, no vacation, no sick time, treat everybody same, and no capacity issue.
Right.
We have 200 employees in our MSP, right? They treat everybody same. It's not like, oh, I got too busy. I let you slide this time,
Right.
right? But Jason gonna get punted every single time. It takes 21 days, right? You probably heard it to form a new habit, right? If Jason want to learn, willing to learn, it's gonna be first day made a couple of, oh man, Tom, why I did it again? Oh my God, I'll be careful. Then bam, it's again. But you can see it's less and less and less. 2, 3 weeks later, Jason just becomes subconscious habit. He doesn't even think about it anymore because he just do it the correct way, new habit form. What if Jason is not a, you probably have those employees that are like, what? It's only 8 hours from my happy hour. You know, I still 8 hours away from my happy. They don't care about the bots, right? They don't even care about the other manager sometimes.
Right.
So this is where we say we get the step 3. We say, what's the threshold? Even your best employee make mistakes. You don't want to be on that every single time, right? You made a couple of mistakes. Who cares? You're human. All human make mistakes. So you can set this threshold per day, per week, per month, right? How
Hmm.
often, how many mistakes or these bots you can trigger before we said, nah, it's not good, right? Whatever. It's a 3, it's a 30, it's 13, whatever you want to do. Then when it's get reach that threshold, the level 1 with like bots to say, hey, Daniel, you keep triggering these bots. Are you sure you know what you're doing? If you need help, can you reach out to your manager? Right? Otherwise, the system will notify your manager after 6 times. Right? Then you
Hmm.
step 2. The step 2 start kick in. Right? Hey, this is the 6 times or whatever, 10 times, 15 times. It
Hmm.
starts between the team leads.
No. Right.
Right? Then service manager, director IT, business owner, owner's wife, right?
Right.
Whatever, or HR, right? So HR started writing up, right?
Hmm.
Something like that. But the bottom line is just because the employees get busy, don't care, team leads on vacation, then the problem doesn't exist anymore. End of the day, as a COO, when client is screaming over the phone, they're not going to say, "Oh, Daniel was sick. Okay, don't worry about it. My
Yeah.
problem
No.
isn't." I don't care, right? You're still the one being responsible. So we say, rather nobody say anything, it's better you get notified. But you want to make sure, right? So those that only reach you after 13 threshold, you give
Hmm.
the team leads the opportunity to fix it first before it reach you.
Right.
So it's the kind of so this is what we said. Some people call it as mini me, right? So be there meanings, right? So you have all the bots. You can create, as you can see, hundreds of them, right? Doing the job for you, 24/7, no attitude, no capacity issue, barely making any mistake, and do exactly what you
What you
said
tell it.
every single
Yeah.
time, and no matter how many employees you have, right?
Daniel, do you guys have a bunch of pre-built bots? Like, are these
Yes.
pre-built with the language and everything? So,
Yeah, those are, this is the next step, like this kind
uh-huh.
of chasing for the utilization,
Yeah.
right? And you didn't attach the configuration.
Mm-hmm.
So open honestly, so this
Uh-huh.
is one we talk about the called attendance, right? So as I mentioned, you can see here, right? This is our employees. So first is the visa. Initially, it's about the utilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we first developed it, we said, okay, utilization is a Z number one a KPI
KPI. Right.
for the technician, right? So how can we calculate the accurate utilization? So this is what we did, right? So people can come here. You can click in, right? Then your box just become see here become Daniel become green,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you comes in, or you can then go on-site break or lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So or you can come here say, okay, I'm gonna go to lunch, right? So on your cell phone,
Right.
on the desktop, just type lunch, right? Break out,
Mm-hmm.
any of those stuff. Then once you type it, the bot's gonna acknowledge you. Oh, okay, Daniel, you started your lunch at this time. Oh, by
Mm-hmm.
the way, you're really bad on the utilization. Go fix your utilization, right?
Uh-huh.
Or like Richard, you are going to the lunch, but your utilization is 93, 4.3. Good job. And you have no in progress ticket,
Right.
you have no overlap. Enjoy your lunch,
I
right?
gotcha.
Well, Daniel, go click this, right? So this serve two purpose. Oh, we have our team. Some of our team they use this one, right? They say, yeah, like this one, this case as a MSPbots break, right? I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of company doing this. Be right back, break, lunch,
Mm-hmm.
to let other people know I'm not here. Don't forward the call to me,
Right.
right? But instead, we do is add MSPbots back. So they serve a couple of purpose, right?
It lets the
Number
team
one,
know.
yeah, notify people, change your presence,
Uh-huh.
and do a QA check, right? It's the three things happened when this command was sent. So then when, this is initially we did just for the utilization, but then later, the COVID hit, right? Everybody start working from home. We're like, okay. People say, can you give some kind of presence? Who's, I know Key is taking the break. Oh, no, no, no. Key is back actually, right? So it's hard to go track back. So we start doing like, oh, can we give this presence, right? Oh, Daniel is having lunch, right? Blue collar. Then they start to say, oh, okay, this is awesome. Can you show what they're doing, right? Paramount is working on this ticket, which is a priority 3 for 27
Wow.
minutes, while the Joshua is working on this ticket, which is a priority 1 for hour and 34. Let me not bother him. But hey, Irvin,
Right.
what you're doing, right? You're free. Okay. Actually, there's a new version, a design. I don't know. It's maybe next week or two, or maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. So we're gonna say how long Irvin has been not in progress, right? For how long? So you are working here, but you don't have any ticket in progress for more than 15 minutes. You're not on break. You're not on lunch. You're not working on the ticket. Hey, Irvin, right? Did you
Right.
forget to ticket to in progress, right? So this is the incoming. This design is already done. They're developing it right now. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what we say. This just that this message alone, right? We say people boost their, those people have
Utilization.
50, 60% utilization. They move to the 80, just like the messages you said early. It's very
Mm-hmm.
difficult to say to explain. Hey, Laura, this bot has been chasing you 4 or 5 times a day last 2 weeks. Yet your average utilization is still 50%. Which English you don't understand? How do you want me to give you? Do you want like a audio training, how to click calendar to find out the missing time entry?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's very, very difficult for the employees to say, yeah, here's a legit reason. Typically, I'm too busy, overwhelmed. Sorry, that's not a reason. Oh, I don't care. Right.
Right.
So this is a made the management job way easier. All you need to ask is, hey Laura, are you watching those messages? Is there any message you don't understand? What help you need? After a while, people are like, I really cannot give my manager any excuse. Then they start changing
That's right.
if they want to stay, right? So then this is the attendance, right? Mainly it's just visibility, and we have a lot of new requests, right? People says, okay, I want, hey, you have space here. I want to see there how many tickets they finished today, right? How many ticket? What's the utilized time? Can you put the utilization there in the real time because you already know that, right? Can you make this box bigger because I want to say move the mouse over, right? Say what's their other three KPIs. I say
Yeah.
yes, we can do all of them. It just how long the queue, how
Right.
many people can hire. So yeah, those are all in the plan to give you this one single, pane dashboard,
Okay.
right? So this is going on. This is one we say, you can see we have the different team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the San Francisco team 2, team 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what it says, if they say, hey Daniel, you are hired for the team 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first day. You said, Daniel gonna come in and say, oh, you are very seasoned. You don't need training. You worked in the MSP for 10 years. You know what you're
Right.
doing.
Right.
Which ticket you should work first? The MSP, the next ticket says, go work on this ticket, right? Go work on this ticket. So this is a click there, boom, it goes to the ConnectWise. Or you can do is you don't even need to log in. You just come here, says NT, which is we really, really want to save technicians time. So
Yeah.
we
Next
short
ticket.
next ticket, right? We say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I type, 10 letters if we can type 2 letters, right? So Daniel comes in and says, hey, first day here, which ticket I should work on? Type NT, click this, go work on that. Oh, why I'm
Wow.
working on this one? Oh, if you had interested, we'll explain later, but just go there. Most technicians don't care. My job is just fixing ticket. You say, I work on this one? Okay, I'll do it. Oh, I finished this one. What's next?
Next
Next
ticket.
ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a literally official training and dispatch process. But as you and business owner, COO, service manager, you need to do the hard work. What's the hard work? We suggest you spend about 4 hours or 8 hours, whatever the time, right? Go define the party rules, right? So let me go back here, right? Where's the next ticket? So the user experience is app, next ticket, and a
Mm-hmm.
couple of seconds later, right? Bam, we give you the ticket. There, it's a 5, 6 second. Reality behind the thing, if you click here, so it's actually there's 50 tickets open, right? Team 6
Mm-hmm.
open tickets, 50 of them. So all those 50 tickets, we see these points. This is
Mm-hmm.
how we determine which one is more important. There are some like 100,000 points, right? There's some like a negative points, right? So all this kind of stuff here. So how
Mm-hmm.
exactly these points are calculated? That's what we call working on the business. The management need to decide, right? So like situation right now, you have a dispatcher, let's say his name is John, right? John comes
Mm-hmm.
in and says, hey, friends, next month I have this blah, blah reason. I need to take 3 weeks vacation, right? You're like, oh, now what? Okay, Daniel, come here, right? Go train with John for a week. So
Mm-hmm.
at least you can cover that 3 weeks so we don't get like a go crazy, right? So then Danny gonna go, okay, okay, I'm here. John, what's the training? John gonna say, here's typically how I dispatch ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this ticket is assigned to a current user, it is more important for that user.
Mm-hmm.
If this company has no payment, service, collection,
Mm-hmm.
don't dispatch it,
Yeah.
which in
Negative.
negative 100,000. I really, really don't want to do it, right?
Right.
And if this one, right, blah, 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 this, right, watch list, right? This client has been threatened to leave, pissed off, file
Yep.
five
Yep.
complaints.
Yep.
Let's show them some love, right? Kiss their behind, so hopefully we can save them,
Right.
right? Uh, there's another watch list or something like, oh, if there's a decision maker, do it sooner. But if they're super VIP, right, do it even sooner.
Mm-hmm.
COO sooner. Controller, kind of like important, but not that important. President,
I
whatever.
gotcha.
If
Yep.
right, if a technician already have a ticket in progress, tell them keep working on that. Don't ask me for a new one. You already have a ticket in progress. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this annual is in progress. Don't dispatch to anybody else. Right? The more money they pay us, the more important. The
Hmm.
past due, the longer the past due is more important. Higher the priority, more important. By this time, I'm like, oh, hold on, John, I need to write down. This is too much, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you said CEO is important and the pay more money is important. What if a CEO for $1,000 company and a regular user for $6,000 company? Which one should do first? It's almost like a follow your heart, right?
Yeah, right.
One, right? But it's not done yet, right? SLA. Oh, this
Hmm.
ticket is next Friday. Don't dispatch it. Don't even open it, right? But hey, if you don't open it, how do you know it's a right?
Right.
The ticket owner, status, summary, if it's included, right? Like a Sophos, high level, or the SL expired, right? Ticket
Hmm.
type, of course, this, right? So status and user skill set, right? This is
Hmm.
support with this kind of skill set. End of the day, the reality is there's no human being exists in the world, right? Can calculate 50 tickets based on those 20, 30 rules you set in five
Right.
seconds. So ends of the day, nobody calculate that. So ends of the day, most people just randomly or somehow have some kind of very rudimentary prioritization. Nobody, no dispatcher look at all these factors. It's just
Right.
impractical, right? Unrealistic to ask human to do this, right? But this is all you need to. Most of them, natural language, right? And if
Yeah.
there are any rules, we challenge people. Says, oh, what if this situation? We say, can we translate it to if this then that, right? If we
Hmm.
can, develop the rules. So you spend those couple of hours, right? Typically, those couple of hours, even with pre-built rules, is already way better than your current employee and dispatcher you
Hmm.
have there. And then, but we still need a dispatcher 20%, right? We want them to make sure the data is accurate, right? We want them to make sure, right, some urgent task. We want them to handle the on-site because we cannot handle the on-site, the weather, the traffic, what
Hmm.
time
Right.
is user there or not, right? All those kind of stuff going to determine, right, if we should do it. So there's still something in the dispatcher, but from the technician standpoint, just NT, they totally eliminated, and even the dispatcher, right? They don't micromanage every technician. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why you do that ticket, right? First or later.
Hmm.
Many times they assign a bunch of a ticket. The technicians still need to determine which ticket.
Which
For
ticket to
us,
work next, right?
yeah, this is just what you do. So
Okay.
that's the next ticket. Make sense?
It does make sense. Yes.
Any
That's
questions about this?
fantastic. No, that's fantastic. I mean, I guess the only thing would be if you have something pre-built that I mean, I again, I working on the business rather than in the business is fantastic. So I'm
Yeah.
willing to invest 8, 16, 24 hours to build that out. I just wonder if you have like a best practice one skeleton foundation already built. Like is what you showed me kind of your foundation?
No, not really. This is just a
Okay.
demo. We are
Okay.
working with people. We say what's the most popular ones,
Hmm.
right? But what I found out is the challenge is the each company do things
Differently.
differently,
Yeah.
right? So what we do here, for example, this one, right? We give you this option, right? You see this save and test rules, right?
Hmm.
You can do it all individually, right? You do it all
Hmm.
individually. For example, this one, you click this, right? You say, okay, I want to save this and testing that. Then we give you all the current tickets, right? My computer is CPU fans go crazy. I should have rebooted my computer before join. Yeah. So we give you this, right? Then you can say,
Hmm.
oh, the president CEO got a lot of points, right?
Hmm.
Owner, right? Then you go down, you keep going down, you say office manager, administrator, yeah, none of oh, CPA, I don't care, CPA, right? Regional
Right.
sales, no, no. Oh, facility manager, right?
Maybe bump
Maybe
him up a couple points.
exactly. So
Yeah.
all you need to do is copy this, then go back, add a rule.
Yeah. I
You
gotcha.
add this one, come here, do this. And you said,
Right.
nah, this one is too high, this one is too low, right? All those kind of stuff. You just,
Hmm.
right? This is you can just go through this. Like I said, oh yeah, another thing very important we said, people intimidated with this will go, whoa, this is Apache, or F-23, F-30, flight jet, right? Can I even operate this, right? So I always tell this is not Olympics, right? Okay, oh, you missed the 2 seconds. It's a huge difference. This one, you know, we are comparing, the first phase is you're comparing your human dispatcher and your
Right.
human technician, right? Even you just spend 4 hours, not 4 hours, even the 1 hour, just quickly go through this. It might not be perfect. It might not be, 100% accurate. It's only 60% accurate, right? It's
That's
already
still
way better,
60% efficient, better efficiency. Yeah.
way better. Yeah,
Right.
because most of the human just randomly choosing. Right. It's
Right.
way better already. Then, we have this rejection function, right? So if they say one of your technicians are, no, I should not be dispatched with this ticket, right? They can reject it and we ask them the reason why you reject it, right? So this is
Hmm.
verified, but I'm not familiar with this client,
Right.
right? We're like, so for example, you say, that's not a reason, right? You still need to look into it, do your best so you can get familiar, right?
Right.
Everybody only work with the familiar, then nobody work with the new client anymore, right?
Right.
So this is more like a training. But if your business says, yeah, you're right, if you're
Uh-huh.
not familiar with this client, we don't want you work on it, right? Then you can say, how can I quantify you're familiar with it or not? We say, yeah, if you assign it to that client team, right, then you're going to work on.
Hmm.
So we can say, hey, Daniel, you don't have a rules to say if current technician is in the team of assigned to this company, then add remove points, right? If that's
Right.
your you want to achieve,
That's
that's
it.
what we can help to say. Yeah, we only want the technician who's assigned to that team working on that one.
That's right.
Okay, let's translate it into some kind of data to describe that to make it happen, right? So
Right.
that's the how we can help you. That rules doesn't exist today. We say, okay, we can create it. But rest of them just keep going. The easiest way, just like go through a couple hours, just through to the technician, just start using it. No big deal. And
Hmm.
even and you can even just say, you know what? You talk with your dispatcher, you find out your dispatcher only care about three things,
Right.
right now. So you say, you know what? I'm gonna turn over everything else. I don't care about company status. I don't care about
Right.
this. I don't just there's 3 cents, so I can replace my dispatcher. Right? It's gonna same kind of quality. It's same kind of it's way faster, way better. Any shape of way you think about it, right? As long as you just spend a couple hours. Then from there, based on those feedbacks and today, oh, suddenly, that client is complaining about that ticket. What happened? Whoa, the next ticket moved so low. Oh, why the next ticket moved so low? Oh, we forgot about this reason. Add a rule, adjust it a little bit, then that problem never come back
Goes away.
again,
Right.
right? So it's a
Right.
one at a time. So you approach into the perfection, but you don't need to get a perfection, to start using it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Make sense?
It does. Absolutely.
This is the whole demo part, right? This is what we say during our, the 8 weeks onboarding service. We
Hmm.
do go through this kind of journey, right? And the next ticket, actually, I'm the one, as the product owner right now. So I'm gathering the people, collecting the feedbacks. We're still
Hmm.
doing the improvement, right? All that kind of stuff, right? To help you really get it onboarded, right? To
Hmm.
really make sure you'll be able to use this. And I right now I'm still like tweaking, try to find that golden templates, right? One template rule them all, but I
Right.
find out all kinds of nuance. And also, this is kind of like a people have a different belief system. How tickets should be dispatched, and people have some history. We don't want to go in and say, hey, change everything, right? We
Right.
want to. How can we, like people like assign ticket in the next ticket world? We don't assign ticket to the technician. Why assign the ticket if they're not going to do it right now,
Right.
right? But we say, hey, if you really want to assign it, we're not going to stop you, right? If you took 5 minutes, think about the ticket and assign to someone, we'll make it a little bit more important. Some companies say, no, 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 it's not a little bit more. We only want the technician working on their assigned ticket first. Okay, change that 1,000 to 100,000 to 1,000,000.
Yeah,
Then
but even in that case, Daniel, let's say you did continue to assign, where Next Ticket Manager would still help the technician is
exactly.
looking at his queue of 10 tickets that he has assigned to him and figuring out which one he should work next.
Exactly. Right. The 10 assigned ticket, they're all same, but the rest of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
is
yeah.
still working. The CEOs, the
Right,
MR, right? So
right.
that's why we say we divide this one is after a while, people are like, oh, I got it. So we're
Yeah.
not here to say change everything you do. It's
Hmm.
add on, right? You
Yeah.
pile on, you keep pile on. It just approaching to the perfection, right? More and more. The more rules, the more fine tuning.
Right.
But you don't have to, tune everything. Yeah, it's how many nines, right? Two
Yeah.
nines is already good enough. Three nines is even better. Five nines is awesome, but you don't need a 5 9 to start using it.
Right.
Yeah. So this is so we have people. Some of them only use one PSA dashboard.
Hmm.
They only two people. We have a small company says, oh, I only have 3 technicians. I'm gonna pay you
Right.
$60 to use the next ticket. Or just attendance, we're fine. We try to be inclusive, right?
Hmm.
As you know, my experience, my goal to say as many people using it, but of course, we also need to make money.
Of
So,
course.
we have also the bundle, right? The bundle, we have this one. If you have one man shop or two people, we give you pretty much for free, other than you cannot create the stuff, right? We give you some
Hmm.
read only and a couple bots. But then, we have this middle level and the professional level. The professional
Hmm.
level, as I earlier said, right, from the pay nothing, just testing it, to this is all in, right?
Hmm.
So compared to this two, this one we give you 4 integration. So you want to test it, test 4 integration, some bots, right? We do charge for the onboarding, and we include a 2 hour concierge service. Actually, we make
Hmm.
more money from this one compared to this one because
Hmm.
it's concierge service.
Right.
Concierge service we include if you say, hey, I've been screaming at this tech 5 times last 3 weeks. Can we create a new bots for that? Right?
Hmm.
So we'll work with you to create a new dataset widgets dashboard of the bots, right? Because
Right.
act as your data analysts, right? So this is unlimited. For the startups, we include 2 hours and charge more. So some people want just test it, or some like, oh my God, this is awesome. I want every software, have that. I want the bots
Hmm.
chasing to make sure people are doing what they do, right? So
Right.
that's the different package. And as I mentioned, right, let me see. I thought this one is refreshed. So all the agreement is month to month.
Hmm.
We
No
don't
long-term commitment.
we don't want to put a casilla on you, right? Yeah, there's no long term commitment, and you guys use the baggage. We do the free migration, right? You give us the people give us they set up an admin account. And here's the 10 dashboards we're using. We recreate those 10 dashboard. You look at them, oh, they all look same, they work same.
Hmm.
And now you can create bots or start making modification or integrate with your, any other stuff, right? And we
Right.
have a 90 days unconditional money back guarantee. We would love you give us explanation if you pull that one. But if you say, no, I don't want to tell you, you look ugly, so I'm not canceling. Okay, so be it, right? So, because this is one I want to make sure our team really do an awesome job. And of
Right.
course, right, de-risk. It's a new software. I can talk all the next game, right? Is really work the way you said it's gonna be, right? So far, 6 months, 50 company later, we're not even one person, pulled that one or even close to. So
So I,
that's about everything. Questions?
yeah. I'm just trying to find something. I forget what my break gauge bill is. I'm just thinking about what my net new spend is going to be. That's all, because I know there will be more, and I just can't remember how much I'm spending on break gauge.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it.
Yeah, it's on the right corner. Yeah, that's about the
Yeah.
we got the
So
highest have is $1,000. lowest I have some $200. Yeah.
So a user is gonna be pretty much all of my technicians plus myself, right?
Yeah, because right now we don't have a whole lot for the. We do have an accounting package, right? Well, QuickBooks, right?
Uh-huh.
You could have the bots, all the stuff. We have, and if sales marketing, we don't have a whole lot for that. But as you can see, the philosophy is data
Mm-hmm.
driven, right? If you say there's the data, the sales, the marketing, back office,
Mm-hmm.
they need, you can use them. Or you say, you're right now, I don't even have time for you guys. You just disable them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need account to look at the reports, right? It just
They just
but if
need
they need,
accounts for the process automation.
yeah, the messaging and some of the report, if of course they're not going to receive the any message, right, the bots, if they're disabled, right, because
Got
we
it.
cannot send to them.
Yep. Yep.
And they might not be included in some of the report because we don't include the disabled user. Yeah,
I got you.
that's, yeah, and attendance, all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So 20, let's say,
It's about
just so
1,400. Yeah,
yeah.
if you go for this one, then
Mm-hmm.
it's about 1,000 for this one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just need to talk to Brian about the price. I think you've built a fantastic product, a fantastic offering. You know,
Thank you.
whether or not our budget allows, I need to tell you that that's a fantastic offering. You can see the passion in not just the work product, but in how you speak about it, Daniel. And
Thank
so
you.
that definitely comes across. I remember back when I was in sales that people used to say to me, I found a better product somewhere, which I'm not saying that's the case with you, by the way. But they would say it to me, but they'd say, you know what, I want to buy from you. Because you can see the passion in how you
Right.
talk about what you're offering and all of those things. And you could tell that it's not just a sales thing. It's I really believe that this thing is fantastic and you really should look at it. And I get
Yeah.
that sense from you. I really needed to tell you that.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's
No
open,
problem.
honest truth, right? I put
Yeah.
a lot of money and I'm working 100 hours a week.
You're
It's not
back to
because,
working 100 hours? You tried to get out of
yeah,
the 100 hours, I thought.
but I'm having a lot of fun, right? So
Yeah,
I'm not feel like, oh, okay, no, to be honest, okay, someday I'm like, ah, man, this is a long day. But I'm living my dreams right now. It's
yeah,
like most of the top job, the only problem is I sometimes feel like, I don't have enough. I need more time, right?
right,
To work on it. It's just like so much opportunities. We can do this, we can improve that, all that stuff is
right.
open on. It's truly not about money. Otherwise, I will retire for 3 years, right? It was boring, honestly.
Yeah,
It's nice to binge watch Game of Thrones 3 times, RV trip for 8 weeks, right? It's
right.
awesome. But after a while, for me, I'm like, this is the boring.
So if
I
you
need
don't
to
mind
do
me
some.
asking, how old are you?
48.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
48.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
But
Um,
this truly, I think, just echo you for the, I know you guys can talk about it, right?
yeah.
So, but I think, from the other stuff, think about it, just what the time we saved for the, your dispatcher is here in America, right? Or it's
Yes.
offshore.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's here in America. She works remote a lot, but yeah, no, she's American based.
Yeah,
We've
just
got
think
two
about the
offshore
eight.
technicians right now. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just think about the salary for her salary, 80%, even just for the next ticket, right?
Yeah,
We're not mentioning, all those trainings you could, the time you saved, the people not
right.
looking at the problem. I say, I remember one of the, I love that word, right? Say, oh, the way we're using our baggage, MSFO, is a crime scene investigation, right? Something really happened. It's a pretty bad. Then we say, who made the mistake, right?
Right.
And, okay, is you're the one guilty, right? So
Yeah.
unfortunately, at that time, whatever the consequence is already there, right? So I love that one. I should use it more. was we want to turn that crime scene investigation into a crime prevention, right? Game. And I think the productivity improvement, reduce the time saving, productivity improvement. Our goal is say we should be easily proved, right? Whatever we charge is bring the 5-10 times value, to the business and give
Right.
you back, especially your time, Brian's time, or your management time,
Mm-hmm.
right? At working on the business, then you can keep increase,
Yeah.
moving forward. So I was there, I stuck, right? I feel like all day long, I'm doing the same thing, right? Over and over. I don't have time to actually think about how can we double or triple again. I feel like huge resistance every single day, pulling me back, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully this will give you create a lot of mini me. Hey, go mini me, do all
Right.
the job,
Let me ask
24/7.
you. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Daniel. No, yeah, no, I agree with you. The 10 bots per, is that 10 bots per user? So am I to assume if I had 20 users, then we can build
200.
out 200 bots, 200
Yes,
individual bots, like
yes,
one bot watching everybody's time entries, one bot
yeah,
watching everybody's utilization, whatever it is. So
right,
okay,
right.
so I
Yeah,
think
because
probably.
if you see this one here,
Uh-huh,
right, each of this, for example, is this overlap, right?
uh-huh.
We don't allow the time entry overlap. This is
That's
considered
a bot.
one bot,
Okay.
right? But sometimes if you say, hey, this bot is notifying this people,
Hmm.
that bot is notifying the other people, then that's another bot. Right.
It is like if it so
No, no, no.
the
If the
same.
same
Oh,
bot,
it's the same bot.
yeah,
Got it.
it's the
Okay,
same bot, right? If one
understood.
bot can to 20 people.
200 bots is a lot of bots, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. So
So.
yeah, it's really just the end of the day. There's three things: is the number of the integration,
Uh-huh.
number of the bots, and well,
And the
there's
concierge and the
onboarding
onboarding,
and the
right?
concierge. Yeah,
So, but
concierge is the main difference. One of the
yeah,
main difference.
and that 2 hours included, that's 2 hours period. So once I've engaged you 2 hours and you've worked with me, then it's not 2 hours a month. It's two
The two
hours.
hours a month.
Oh, it is 2 hours a month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise 2 hours is not enough. It's
Yeah, I was gonna
creating
say,
one
yeah,
bot.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, 2 hours a month. Wow. Explain that I don't have to hire a data analyst anymore with that 2 hours a month.
I don't think this is enough. I'm more like talking about this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
All right.
typically, like you're the bright gauge admin, right?
Right.
So it's a very typical. Most time it's the owner, CTO, director of
Hmm.
IT, or senior engineer. One of those person are managing the bright gauge,
Right.
which of course that's not your full-time job, right? And honestly, you're probably not as good as our data analyst,
I'm
right?
sure
Because
I'm not.
that's
Yeah.
all they
No.
do. That's
Right.
all they do every single day with the team of 20 people supporting them,
Hmm.
right? And and the cost, hourly cost, right? The energy, the cost, and the skill set. But you are very good. All those people, they know what's going on. They know what
Hmm.
needed. But
Right.
doing it, right? Managing manually, you create this one. Why the data is not working? You check again. Oh, missing this data, right? Oh, that one calculation is wrong. Why the color is not changing, right? Stuff like this. This is what we say
I
the
got you.
unlimited part. You still
And
need
the.
to
Go ahead. I'm
reason.
sorry. You still need to go ahead. I'm sorry.
You still needed to say define what you need, right?
Yeah. Okay. And month to month, you could. I'm not saying that every other month you flip, but
Right.
could you start with the startup and then move to the professional or vice versa?
Yeah. So far, yes, right.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we just
It's
started
month to
building this
month.
plan.
Right.
Yeah, this plan was built before the like a month ago before the boot camp. So
Hmm.
we're definitely tweaking this, right? And this is well, you get this price, but
Hmm.
this price increased 3 times last 4 months. Uh, Yeah, it just we are putting some initially. We have a bugs,
Yeah, I
issues
gotcha.
for testing it. We give them a low cost, right? Once we hit the number 15, we increase it. Number 30 clients, we increase, right? So
Yep.
so
No,
far
I get it.
it's the market, right? If we
Yeah. No, it's
keep
capitalism.
on,
So
right?
to that end, I wouldn't be doing part of what my job is if I didn't try to have this discussion that I'm about to have with you. But is there any I know that when Brian usually comes back from these boot camps, it's, hey, you sign up with us, let us know you found us at boot camp, we give you 10% off or whatever it happens to be. Are you doing anything like that or no?
Yeah, we initially that's the free migration part, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
eventually we kind of like made it all same. But open honestly, right now we actually the bright gauge migration we have 8 weeks, about 9 weeks right now. This morning they said 9 weeks backlog because every week I get adding more people. They wanted to take this, and
Okay.
we have 4 people as a full time recruiting, right? So we can catch up. We even start an intern program, say, hey, you want to be a data analyst? Join.
Right.
Because we kind of like using the bright gauge almost give them the training because it's kind of like a copycat,
Yeah, I
job.
gotcha.
You don't need
Uh-huh.
to use a whole lot of brain, but it still, we cannot hire fast on the demand, right? So that's why, our internally already talk about it, this supply demand. If it's a too much demand, we should increase the price,
Yeah.
right? There's a conversation there, but we do prioritize, right? Like this SLA, we
Mm-hmm.
prioritize the professional or any task, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prioritize that, but there's still a backlog, and every week when we have weekly meeting, that number just
Mm-hmm.
going higher because
Wow.
three, four bright gauge, two, three bright gauge every week added. We cannot finish them, in 2, 3 weeks. It's a lot of job, back and forth to
So am I
make
going
sure
to
it's
have
working.
any overlap of paying for Breakage and paying for MSP bots?
Yes.
Mm, okay. So
Yeah.
like
Well,
2 months, I'd be paying for both.
the professional, we typically we try to prioritize, right? Another thing is that we start to talk about, I don't know how many dashboard you're using,
Yeah.
right? Like I said earlier, or some companies says, oh, it's literally just one dashboard. And we have another company, like it's literally we put 200 hours in it already, right?
Yeah.
They start like, hey, Daniel, we really should promise everything. And when it's free, people want everything, right? So
Yeah.
we kind of like, do you really need everything? If you look here, this is a ongoing project we're working on right now,
Hmm.
right? Are you guys using the QuickBooks online or
Yes.
desk
QuickBooks on premise.
on premise? Okay,
Yes.
so you say once you link it, we
Uh-huh.
pull over. This is your chart account, right? Each
Yep.
company is different, and we have this called standard templates.
Hmm.
Right. So you can just drag and drop, right? Different
Hmm.
ones, create kind of like a second book per
Yep.
se, right? But the one we're working on with a couple of consulting company to create their standard reports,
Yeah.
right?
And one of them is Gary
So
Pica's. Yeah.
one of them the true method. So we
Yep.
really wanted to create this true method user group, right? To benchmark. I show you this one because you early mentioned the utilization
Hmm.
and late time entry, right? So this is
Hmm.
the ability we can do, or which this is more like a demo. How the sense is 200 company it's slow. So we give you like this is a way more detailed utilization report, right? Here,
Hmm.
see this one,
Yeah.
right? So tell you each individual person what's their utilization last 7 days, last
Uh-huh.
30 days,
Wow.
and all the charts, right? Each one every day for last 30 days. You can see weekend we have people working, right?
Right.
And hours. And more importantly, I really should have rebooted my computer. It's not moving. Uh, and more importantly, see this one here.
Hmm.
Hey, what's the average? What we have a 250 ConnectWise user, right?
Uh-huh. How do we rank
What
against the other guys?
exactly? What's
Yeah.
the
Wow.
average?
Uh-huh.
What's the top percent? This is
And where are
weekly,
we?
last 16 weeks. where are you, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell people to say, hey guys, we want to beat the top 20%. We don't want to be the 40%
That's right.
tile, right? So this is give you the visibility. So
That's
this is
awesome.
what we're working with a couple company, benchmarking those financial data, or like this is the utilization. With
Uh-huh.
this one is the late time entry, right? How you
Yeah.
doing?
We would suck
Basically,
there. I can tell you that. But anyway.
right. Basically, we say if there's a data, right, like this
Uh-huh.
late time entry, we say we did a merge with the
Mhm.
other company, right? So this is the other company, and but yeah, where are you, right? We got these people. These are the people who very little late time entry, right? And we also have the people who have lots of late time entry. So we give you all the detailed and they're more importantly, what's the ranking right here. So we have this full capability.
Wow.
The idea of this mapping is if you can map to the, for example, this is the standard true
Mhm.
method, right? Well, then we can rank you against all the true method
And I don't have to run
users.
the numbers then, because even Brightgauge doesn't really give it to me the way that I need it. I've got to actually go in, calculate my revenue, plug it into Gary Pica's spreadsheet, take all the different items and plug them in. This, you just say these ledger
Mapping.
accounts on the left side equal
Yeah,
non-recurring revenue. These equal other recurring revenue. These equal MRR, yada, yada, yada. And then it's just going to
exactly.
give me the dashboard so that I could say to Brian, here's where we are.
Yeah, and that report can be limited, right? Typically, we have special financial,
Uh-huh.
permission. So
Yeah.
you and Brian only can
And that's
see
it.
that, or
That's,
maybe
yeah.
bookkeeper, right?
Right.
Typically, it's three people or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's another dashboard you can see. Only three
Right.
of you see, and the data is, by 15, the bookkeeper said, hey, book
Hmm.
closed. Then you can go in and look for the April number, right?
Okay.
It's all
Right.
automatic, or
And
all automatically.
yeah, the only other metrics I try to track that would be like my leverage numbers. So my all services revenue divided by the total number of employees. That's a Gary Pica thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
where he says you're
so
supposed to be
as
able.
long as
Go ahead.
same thing, right? If you have a
Mhm.
QuickBooks API, right,
Uh-huh.
then we can get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I
Oh,
did, that was bonus stuff. Go ahead.
sorry. I just realized I have
You're
another
way late, probably.
place I need to go. Yeah, yeah, supposed to an hour, right? That's what I mean.
So,
Uh,
well, we had fun and I learned a lot, and I'm gonna go talk to Brian. I mean, again, I can't tell you enough. You've built a tremendous offering, and you do it tremendous justice.
awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Daniel.
have to bounce right now, but I'll
Yep.
send you an email later. I'll send you this recording and the price list, all that stuff. Then,
Okay.
we can see what's the next step. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Yes. Bye.